The delegates have spoken. They have issued their mandate, and it's a golden mandate. Mark Golding has won the People's National Party's presidential elections. He is now the new president of the People's National Party. He defeated Lisa Hanna in the presidential elections on November 7, 2020. At 5 p.m., General Secretary Julian Robinson made the announcement at the Hold Up Road headquarters of the People's National Party after the results were given to him by the Electoral Office of Jamaica workers, who were in full control of the electoral process. Mark Golding received all of 1,740 votes, in comparison to Lisa Hanna, who received 1,444 votes, out of a total of 3,350 delegates who chose to cast their ballots on Saturday. Mark Golding will now take over from Dr. Peter Phillips, who led the party to a landslide defeat at the hands of the Jamaica Labour Party in the September 3rd parliamentary elections. Mark Golding is now officially the 6th president of the PNP's political organization. The previous presidents were Portia Simpson Miller, Dr. Peter Phillips, Percival James Patterson, Michael Manley, and Norman Manley. Mark Golding was in an extremely confident mood earlier today as he cast his ballot at the Michael University College. He was extremely confident that the delegates would give him the mandate to become the 6th president of the People's National Party. He was extremely confident at all of the locations where he decided to stop along his PNP election itinerary. He was at Cedar Grove, and previous to that he was at Michael University College, and after leaving Cedar Grove he went to Glenmuir in Clarendon. The Member of Parliament for South St. Andrew and the presidential aspirant of the PNP was getting ready today to hit the ground running as the next PNP president and opposition leader. And of course, Mark Golding has now been given the golden mandate, and the Go With Golding team has been victorious in the presidential elections. Mark Golding had mentioned that first, the delegates must give him the mandate. He must be chosen first by a majority of more than 3,300 party delegates who decided to go out and support both candidates by casting their ballots on Saturday. There was also a special delegates election to determine who will be the next leader of the opposition party. Of course, the Attorney at Law and former Justice Minister was challenged by former Miss World and Member of Parliament for South Eastern and Lisa Hanna. The polls were conducted under the watchful eyes of the Electoral Office of Jamaica, and it closed at 3 p.m. The winner, of course, they announced at the PNP's Old Hope Road headquarters at 5 p.m. According to Comrades on the ground, it has been extremely busy today, and the delegates came out in their numbers to provide their support to each respective political aspirant. Of course, there was only one thing that Mark Golding was worried about, and it was the rainy weather. The weather has been an issue right across Jamaica, and he mentioned that he was not sure how much that would impact the day's proceedings. But so far, it seemed like the people were braving the weather and coming out and exercising their right to vote. With less than an hour to go prior to the polls closing, Mark Golding remained extremely confident because his team had showed that they were significantly ahead. It was not a canvass that was done once, it was a repeated canvass over time. And as we developed momentum, I believe more people who initially may have been a little reticent about supporting me started to come on board, so I expect our numbers to grow. As long as we execute well today, then I believe we will be home and dry when the polls close. And he was correct, because when it was all over, Mark was the president of the People's National Party. Golding said he had confidence in his presidential team and that they had worked extremely hard. He also mentioned that he believes the organization is holding, so he expects it to be successful. I think it's achievable, he said, when asked how difficult he thought it would be to unite the party following some amount of scandalous statements that had been exchanged of each party. Of course, it's a minority of wayward persons who say things on social media that are really inappropriate. It's a handful and we know who they are, and we just need to encourage them to just change their ways because it's not helping the party, and most persons in the party are totally against this behavior. Mark Golding, who is also the opposition spokesman on finance, has mentioned that he is willing to work with his opponent to unite the party after the day's proceedings have concluded. He mentioned that he believes that Lisa will be working together with him in the future and that their teams will be able to unite the party quickly and effectively. Whatever it takes, we will do it. If we need any outside help, we will get it. But both camps and I are fully committed to the party coming together and putting behind us some of the things that have been lingering for a while. Those things are no longer relevant, so there is no need to carry them forward. Leave your comments down below and let me know what you think about the delegates having issued their mandate to the Golding camp. And of course, they marked their X for Mark Golding, and he is now the PNP president. He has recorded victory over Lisa Hanna. The results of the presidential elections were announced earlier, and of course, voting closed at 3 p.m. And the St. Andrew South Member of Parliament and the spokesman on finance is now the 6th president of the People's National Party. Do you agree with the delegates? Do you agree with the way that they chose to vote for the Golding campaign team? Of course, Golding managed to take all of 1,740 votes to take victory from the hands of his challenger Lisa Hanna, who only got 1,444 votes in an election where there was approximately 96% of delegates who came out to cast their ballots and exercise their right to vote for their candidate of choice. The results were announced, and the 3,300 delegates who were eligible to vote chose Mark Golding as the president of the People's National Party. And of course, Golding's victory means that he replaces Dr. Peter Phillips as president of the PNP and is now Jamaica's leader of the opposition. It is now a turn of fortunes for the former Justice Minister, who only last year was the chairman of Peter Bunting's Rise United team. So finally, Rise United has taken it from the one PNP team. It was less than 12 months ago, in September 2019, when Dr. Peter Phillips and the One United team that was being driven by Lisa Hanna managed to secure victory and defeated Peter Bunting and the Rise United team. But of course, that was by a mere 76 votes. But now, the tides have turned and the Rise United team has decided to take victory from Hanna and the One PNP team by, of course, 296 votes. And, of course, all of 96% of the delegates turned out to support the respective candidates. Golding's political stock soared as a contender for leadership after Bunting, the heir apparent to Phillips, lost his Manchester Central seat in the September 3rd parliamentary elections. Many persons have stated that that challenge in 2019 has caused the demise of the PNP. There was even an attempt earlier in the campaign to detract from Mark Golding's mandate, as many persons stated that Mark Golding may have been putting up himself as a proxy for Peter Bunting. But that claim was fervently denied by Mark Golding. He said that he had the blessing of Peter Bunting and that he was running for the presidency of the People's National Party as himself and for himself, and because he was a man of integrity and he felt he had a duty to Jamaica to serve as the leader of the PNP. His intentions were also to bring the party to a place of unity and also to take the party on a transformative path to a place where they would be able to acquire more financial funding. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.